Let me just get it rolling. Kelly, can you put the slang book down? She's reading a little book on Australian slang.
I didn't know you were recording already.
Nah, I just started it. YOLO, you know? You only live once. So I thought I would get it going. In fact, I'm going to turn my voice down because I know I tend to speak a lot louder than you.
Yeah.
So, yeah, to balance it out. Bring it closer to your mouth. Bring it closer to your mouth. That's it. That's it. You can move it around. So we're still getting used to the setup here.
True.
And I know that there's a bit of an echo in the background. I've ordered some sound dampening foam.
Wow.
Right? So, I mean, it sounds a lot more complicated than it really is. It is like special foam. Like, you know, if you were to buy a microphone or a guitar or some kind of equipment, when you get it, it usually comes in foam that's been had a part of it cut out so that it fits perfectly in there, right? That kind of foam. You can put that on the wall on surfaces that are flat and it disperses the sound. So it absorbs the sound, but it also doesn't let the sound reflect back towards the microphone.
How are you going to stick it to the wall?
It comes with double-sided tape.
Oh, nice.
Yeah, so you put that on there. And so what you guys won't hear is that when I get away from the mic, when I speak like this, echo, you can hear that there's a bit of an echo, right?
Yeah, true.
And that's really annoying me, and probably Kel more than me, because every time she edits the audio, and so I'm sort of like, I can keep hearing this in the background. And when I edit it, I can see on your channel the reflection of my voice off the wall behind you and into your mic.
What?
So when I don't talk, if I mute my channel, I can hear myself still through your microphone because it's bouncing off the wall behind you and going into your microphone.
Crazy.
I know, that was pretty boring, but there you go. What an intro. So I thought that we could chat all about 2018, how we went, what we accomplished, and then plans for 2019.
Yeah.
And obviously plans for us personally, plans for Aussie English as well. So 2018, Kel, how was it for you? Did you have fun?
Oh.
Was it a roller coaster?
It was a roller coaster.
How so?
I think memory is a tricky thing because I'm sure there were other years in my life where I was struggling with something. And I would say back then, that was the hardest year of my life. But because I don't remember so much of those years that went by, I would say 2018 was the hardest.
Well, that's always the most recent stuff, right?
Why
was it so hard for you?
I think there was a lot of change personally for me. So
I think the difficult side of that was not necessarily the fact that there was change, but the fact that there was no certainty. Right? That there was a lot of uncertainty. You didn't know what you were going to be doing, where you were going to be within a sort of large amount of time. It was kind of like week to week, month to month.
Yeah.
And you had to wing it and improvise.
And everything happened at once, I would say. Like I left Townsville. It was hard for me. And then we were just, we were together, but then all of a sudden we were living together, which is a big thing. And most people tend to, take a while. They date, they stay together for, a certain period of time, and then they move together.
Yep.
But because we were living in different cities, when we decided to be together, it was like we're living together.
Yeah.
So there
was no easy way to transition, right? It's
absolutely.
not like you were living in the city I was living in already, where you could have kept renting wherever it was you were living down the street, and I could see you from time to time. It was that you were coming from Townsville to Victoria, and so it made little sense to try and set you up in your own house or in your own rental room that you're going to have to pay a heap for, when the ultimate goal was to live together. Did you expect to be married to an Australian a year and a half ago and pregnant, 4 months pregnant?
No way. That's what I'm saying. It was just, there was a lot of change, and while I was trying to, get my head around something, there was already something new coming. Like we were living together. I had a new job. There was everything I ever wanted, but it was hard. Like it was, a lot of responsibility in a different city, living with you, sharing houses. We had a lot of problems with, shared houses in Canberra. And it amazed me, like we spent 6 months there and we moved probably 5 times. So I know it was hard for you because we were trying to, you know, set up a routine and work, and you were just like, that was hard.
Well, I think now having my own studio and having space we have this house now with like 4 bedrooms, and if you're in my face too much, I can leave, you can leave. If I'm in your face too much, you know, you can leave, I can leave. Whereas before, when we were renting a room, it was like either we were in the room together or we had to leave the room and we would be with the rest of the housemates. So there was no real, at least until the very last house that we were in, there was no real way of kind of getting out of each other's hair or at least out of everyone else's hair in the house, right? Unless everyone happened to be out of the house. So now it's kind of like you really appreciate how important space is and having multiple rooms. And although that's obviously a luxury that we just didn't have in Canberra, and how bloody expensive it was.
Yeah, the whole Canberra experience, I'm still digesting it, to be honest, because I do miss my job and I'm trying to get over it because it was basically a choice. Like I decided to go a different path and I left this job, and there was a visa issue I had to sort out. I had issues with friends a lot this year. So it was a lot. But on the other hand,
it was an emotional roller coaster.
I know. On the other hand, it was great because we only got stronger together. We decided to commit like really hard from the very beginning.
Was that before or after getting married?
Before. From the very beginning, and I got pregnant, and it's been, I think relationship wise, it's been great because we are definitely more mature. But
why do you think our relationships worked so well? I mean, we have our ups and downs. So what do you think it is compared to a lot of other people that we know, where we see that they have much bigger issues than we do? What do you think it is?
I think we are much more willing to listen to each other and be vulnerable.
The communication side of things. I think that's a really important thing. Kel and I have been on a real, I don't know, what would you call it, like a spree with regards to listening to philosophers like Jordan Peterson. I don't know if we've talked about him before on here.
Probably not.
He's on YouTube and he talks a lot about these sorts of issues. You know, what is masculinity? What is what are traits that are male? What's femininity? What are women like? How do you make these relationships work? What's important? And one of the biggest things is that you just have to always communicate, and it's not easy. It's bloody hard.
It is.
It's the harder thing, right? Especially anytime I've had problems with my family, because you know by now that my relationships with some of the members in my family, my sister and my father in particular, I love my sister and my father, but we have relatively tumultuous relationships. It's up and down. We not necessarily have fights, but we argue. Yeah. We have differing opinions quite often that lead to heated discussions, that lead to sort of, the ability for, if either of us wanted to sort of like get really angry at the other one or resent the other one because they don't understand me, blah, blah, blah. And quite often it's really difficult when you have to have sort of open, vulnerable conversations with people you love, right? Like it's almost harder than with strangers.
True, I agree.
Yeah, that's been one of the biggest things that I've been trying to change actively this year, at least, is just, and this was, I think, from Jordan Peterson specifically, but just telling the truth.
Yeah, true.
Which freaking sucks, because quite often you avoid saying things to certain people because you're worried that it's going to set them off, it's going to make them angry, it's going to lead to an awkward conversation, it's uncomfortable, but you know it's the best thing to do. And I think almost every single time, particularly with you and I, every time we've talked about something that's been an issue or that's stressing one of us out, it always leads to a better outcome.
Yeah, and I think the truth thing, it feels like it works against you. When you tell the truth, it's like, I'm going to be vulnerable. I don't know what this person's going to think about me.
Maybe they'll throw it back in my face.
And maybe I'm completely wrong if, I'm just trying to argue over something that I think it's right. Maybe I'm wrong and I'll be exposed. So it's really hard to get to a point where you're absolutely comfortable. And we are still working on it, I think, because I think pregnancy is holding me back a little bit on this, because I do get emotional, and I take things personally when I shouldn't, because I know everything you tell me doesn't come from a place of judgment, or like it comes from a place of love. And but my hormones are just all over the place, and sometimes I do get, a bit more sensitive than I should.
Well,
but
I try and understand as well. Like I can't say I understand what it's like to have. I mean, I went through puberty, obviously, so hormones would have been up and down during that time, and I would have been stressed and moody and everything. But I can't say that I understand what it's like to be pregnant and to have your hormones going crazy. And it seems like it's a common thing, though, for women to be, become overly emotional about certain things. And so I have to appreciate that and understand that and try and be there, though it does frustrate me, like, if I'm honest.
Definitely.
And that, you can see it.
I know.
Because the annoying thing is that I say, what have I done? What can I do to fix it? And you'll be like, nothing. And I'll be like, I would rather that I've really screwed up or done something wrong, so that then I can fix it and everything's okay. But if it's hormones, there's nothing any of us can do.
Well, it's easy for me to get resentful, I guess. Like, I can say, oh, it's because you told me this and it hurt me. But I'll be lying, because it's not, whatever it is that you told me, it's not why it's causing me to be upset. What is causing me to be upset is, like, I'm not feeling comfortable with myself, or I don't even know how to explain sometimes.
And that is bloody hard to be honest about and to be vulnerable about. But so this year's been good with working on that, huh? Yeah,
definitely good. I think I've taken much more responsibility personally for me, like with our relationship and work when I was working, and even now with Aussie English, like, I try to do as much as I can, because I see it as our thing, right? So it's really...
Man, you're as much a part of Aussie English as I am now. This is this is a boat for two. It was that's it. It was a one-person canoe, a one-man canoe before this, but now it's turned into a little dinghy, a little boat for 2.5 currently. But Kel's been crushing it. You've been smashing out transcripts left, right, and centre, right?
I'm trying to.
Transcribing heaps and heaps. I keep putting up as much as I can on the website that we use, where it'll transcribe it roughly, and then Kel has to go in there and correct all of it. And it's a laborious task. It takes a while.
So if I can do anything to save you time to, so you can focus on different things, I feel, happy to do whatever it is. So I think, responsibility definitely has been a big part of my year. And,
So what's coming for... In fact, no. We should probably talk about Aussie English. Aussie English for 2018 has done relatively well. It's done very well. Obviously you guys know that I I finished my PhD in November last year. Last year? We're still in 2018, aren't we? Yeah. 2017. And then I just quit my job at the restaurant at the same time, and I just did Aussie English full on. And it's growing slowly to the point now where obviously I can afford to support Kel and myself, and hopefully our son, who we're going to call Noah. Little Noah?
Yes.
And get this house and everything. I mean, we don't have much left over. There's no Maserati sitting in the driveway. But hopefully we can keep growing it. And the last few days, I've been chatting to everyone in the Aussie English classroom and trying to really get feedback and work out where we can go in 2019. Because obviously... It's very easy to get set in your routine and just keep doing what you're doing, which I have been doing for the last 6 months or so when we've been moving around and doing all sorts of stuff. But now it's time to sort of get back to it, try and reassess things objectively and be like, what are people using? What aren't they using? What are they like? What are they not like? And how can I keep adding to it and building it more and more and more and more? So hopefully, guys, that's the aim for 2019. Hopefully I can really improve things and just keep pumping out the content, especially with Kel doing the transcripts now.
And other things.
Yeah, that's it. She's doing a lot more. She's obviously on the podcast too. But hopefully we can just get a heap more content out in the Aussie English classroom after I assess all the feedback that you guys are currently giving me from the survey that I've created. So I sent out a survey to all the members asking them for their feedback on 10 different questions, and they're in the midst of currently filling that out for me. I've got about 21 responses, so thank you guys. Yeah, thank you guys for everyone who's filled it out. What about you, Kel? What's on for 2019? What should we be aiming for? What's the New Year's resolution for you?
I think there are a couple. Obviously, we are having a baby.
Are we?
Yes, in June. So
I hope so.
That's kind of. It's hard to think of anything apart from it because it takes all of you, right? Like I can imagine starting. Well, it's more sort of projects and helping you out with Aussie English and stuff, and finishing my course that I'm doing in Melbourne. But at the main thing in my life right now is to get ready for birth, to give birth, and to take care of this baby, just do my best. And
you won't have a choice.
I know.
Neither will I.
So yeah, I think that's the main thing. As I said, I wanna finish my course in Melbourne. I wanna apply for my partner visa. So I'll be working on it as well.
That's going to be intense. We have to fork out something like $7,500, right? $7,500 just to apply.
Just to apply.
That's
no
it.
guarantees.
Nothing changes after you get married. I was thinking, maybe you get a little marriage discount or a pregnancy discount. Nothing.
I wish there was a pregnancy discount.
Yeah, that's it.
But no.
Just 90%, please.
No.
Nothing.
So yeah, I think I'll be working on this family and I think my plan is to make things work for us and the baby, and I can't really say that will be working. Like, I mean,
it's work. That's work.
Yeah, but I mean, trying to find a job away from home or things like that, because I don't really know how things will go with regards to giving birth and having a newborn at home.
The idea was to kind of not have you do that, right?
Yeah.
At least because from the research that we've been doing, we find and we agree now that it's very, very important for particularly the mother to be at home for the first year or two with the baby, right? As often as possible, particularly for breastfeeding. You need to be doing that every day for as long as possible for the sake of the baby's health. And obviously it's a good thing that I'm at home, although I don't know how that's going to go with Aussie English. We're going to have to
take turns.
Work out some kind of schedule. Obviously be a lot more stringent on the sort of rules. I won't be able to sit on YouTube for an hour at lunchtime and fluff around.
Yeah, true.
So we'll see how that goes, but yeah.
Yeah, so that's why I was a bit upset with, I mean, I wouldn't say upset, but I had to have a serious conversation at school because I really want to be able to breastfeed for as long as I can. I mean,
Tell that story because there may be other people listening, obviously, who are going to go through the same thing in the future where they might be in Australia, they may have met an Australian, they might be planning to stay here, they might be pregnant, they may be at a school where they have to suddenly take time off. What did you have to do? You were pregnant before you started, but you didn't tell them when you started, did you? I can't remember.
No, because I started in November.
Yep.
And I didn't want to bring it up before the ultrasound we had. So I just wanted to make sure everything was fine. So then when I was, everything is fine, I went to talk to them. And the thing is, there's nothing, at least I couldn't find, and all the people I know just, there's nothing written online, not like on the government website or anything, determining how long you can be away from school.
Yeah.
There's nothing really clear about it.
And your lawyer had sort of told you beforehand, right, and given you an idea, you'll get this amount of time off, but there was no sort of set in stone, this is the exact amount.
Yes. What I wanted was, I wanted to have something formal, right? Like that's a document that you can take to school and they'll be like, okay, you're allowed to take time off, because when you are on a student visa, you are required to, have a certain amount of hours at school.
You have to attend a certain amount, right?
Yes. So I'm a VET student, a vocational education course or something, training. Yeah. I know it's much harder if you are an English student, because apparently you have to be there like 80%.
They're much more strict with attendance, right? And whereas currently you only go 2 days a week and you can do a lot of it online because the assessments are online, right? So
what I heard was like, you easily get 6 months away. And
should be okay.
Yeah, that's what upsets me so much. They all like...
That's been the quote for this year. Should be okay. It should be okay. And it's like, I need to know if it is okay or if it is not okay. I don't want you to tell me it should be okay. You're just covering your own ass so that later, whatever happens, you were like, oh, well, I thought it was going to be okay.
Yeah, literally. So with that, I went to school and I was like, okay, so I need 6 months away. And initially they were like, oh, okay, it's fine for you to stop in May. That's when I graduate. But your diploma starts in August, I think. So I'm like, but I'm having a baby in June. So how do you expect me to do that? And they didn't seem to know exactly what to do.
That fills you with confidence.
I know. And I was like, well, what should I do? I was just panicking and already planning. Okay, so I have to bottle feed bottle feed the baby, and how am I going to do this, and getting all anxious about it.
Well, and fortunately, I was saying worst case scenario, you will only have to bottle feed him 2 days a week. At least it's not every day. And, you know, although pumping isn't exactly the most fun, it's an option.
Yeah. But in the end, I was able to talk to my agency, and again, time to travel. You guys are awesome because they always help me. So just saying.
Yeah, that's what they're called.
Yeah, time to travel.
Okay, good plug.
So the girl who spoke to me, she was absolutely, great. She was like, you get 6 months. Don't worry about your visa, because as you are applying for a partner visa next year, you don't have to worry about finish your course or not, because you have a visa anyway. I had the option of extending my student visa, which would be expensive anyway. So I'm already paying $7,000 for a partner visa. I don't want to spend anything else.
$7,500.
Yeah. And I went to school again, spoke with them, and apparently everything's fine. I'll be able to...
Should be okay.
I'll be able to stop in May, give birth, and go back in November.
Yeah.
Yeah, that was the best deal I could get, but I'm really happy with it, because I know some people only get 2 months sometimes.
Far out.
So if you are pregnant and if you are on a student visa, just make sure. I would suggest calling immigration even to, but the thing is, it depends on the school. The school decides.
So they set the rules.
Yeah, pretty much. But you might be able to get a medical certificate. And if a doctor says you're allowed to get 6 months, if you, value breastfeeding as much as I do, just, just say, I'm taking this time off, and that's not, they can't refuse. That's your baby, and just make sure you talk to them.
Don't be afraid to push back. Find out what your options are and do what's best for you and the baby before you worry about being, forced into attendance or whatever. But just find out what your options are.
Yeah, and if you need to, have a serious conversation with them, and do it. It's worth it, I guess. I mean, I would be like, oh, okay, I guess I'm only take a few weeks, but then I was like, you know what? I'll try something else. I'll see what I can get.
That's it. Don't just necessarily accept it.
Yeah.
Oh, we think you should only take a few weeks. Oh, okay. No. Push back so you can get longer off if that's important to you. So how have you found your English over the last year and a half? Since we haven't really had you on here talking about your improvement since, right? We've talked about when you first came to Australia with nothing and how you got to where you were when I first interviewed you. How do you think it's gone the year following that? Have you noticed it improve at the same rate? Has it dropped off with regards to how quickly it was improving? Did you have a lot of time for studying?
Yeah.
What did you do to study? So, have at it. Go for it.
It's not as quick as it was, because I'm not studying as much. Like, I used to have the whole day. I wasn't working when I came to Australia, so I had pretty much the whole day to study, and my focus was on learning English. Then, during this time, the 3 years that I've been here, I've found jobs. I've been busy with other things. So, it's definitely not going as quick as it should be going, but
well, and I think too, once you get to the advanced level that you're at, you're not going to get the same amount of returns. It's not a linear improvement. It's what is it, reverse exponential, where it diminishes over time. So you acquire that. What is it? The 80% of the skill in 20% of the time required to get to 100% or whatever.
Yeah, and then in Canberra, I was working with Brazilians.
Yeah,
I was living with Brazilians.
Yeah.
You wanted to improve your Portuguese, so you were we've been speaking Portuguese since then.
I was pretty selfish with that. How have you found that though?
I love helping you, and I know you might not recognize that, but I see your Portuguese. It's just amazing how much you've improved. But it does.
I made her say that, guys. I forced her to.
It does affect my English to a certain extent because I don't have many friends around here, I would say, now.
You got family, my family, and that's about it, right? That's when you obviously have to speak English because they don't speak Portuguese. So you did notice it sort of drop off, even in Canberra, right? When you were working with Portuguese speakers, you were living with them. So the majority of the time you were speaking Portuguese. Even having such an advanced level, you did notice it drop off as soon as you stopped using it.
Yes,
so
definitely.
That's something to take note of, guys, and just goes to show that even after you get to an advanced level, you kind of need to put in a certain amount of a maintenance, right? And use.
Totally.
Does it get easier though?
What do you mean?
With improving your English now that you're at the level you're at, or does it get harder because you have to put much more of a concerted effort into improvement?
Yes, it is harder. For example, when I make a lot of like contractions, that's still a big issue for me. And
I pointed this out to her the other day. She was saying, "What were you saying?
If I go in something,
you go somewhere, or we go somewhere." And I was like, we going? And I was like, do you mean we're going, or are you saying are we going? But you're asking a question without saying are, and you didn't believe me. And then you listened to the recording, and you were like,
true.
But I was like, it is funny because it is such a small mistake or small error in pronunciation that it's just most people aren't going to correct you on that. They're never going to pick it up. They're going to feel like assholes if they say, well, actually, it's where instead of we. Unfortunately, I don't mind telling her.
Yeah, and I'm glad you do. But the thing is, because it's such a small thing, most people don't say anything. I don't notice that, and I didn't until you said something. But and most people think because I have a good level of English that I don't make mistakes, and when I do, they misunderstand what I say. Like with would and should. I remember we had a chat once about it because I told you, oh, you would do this, and you're like, whoa, like
because you tell him, you give me an order. It felt like I was like, what do you mean?
Like, oh, that's a subtle difference.
Yeah.
And I was like, okay, so I'm still learning, and
That's what gets hard, and I think that's what happens with native speakers in any language, right? You don't learn actively after a certain number of years, or once you get to a certain level. It's just repetition. You're just absorbing material all the time, and then eventually you start soaking up these things, and you avoid doing these errors, right? Because you've just been battered over the head with your language so much.
Yeah.
And I think that's happening with me in Portuguese. But the funny thing I've noticed with Portuguese is that I feel like I have a very, very good level in very simple things that we constantly are talking about. So I feel like I have to now make a really concerted effort to venture out into unknown territory with regards to my Portuguese. I need to start reading more. I need to start watching videos and movies on different topics, because although I can say, what do you want to have for lunch? Do you want to clean the clothes? Can I do this for you? Are we going to go to mum and dad's? And I don't have to think about it. As soon as we venture into different topics, I have to start being like, what's this word? What's this word?
But then you see, like, I've been here for 3 years and I didn't speak English when I came. And I can't really have a deep conversation about politics. So it's just one of those things, like, we don't talk about those things all the time, or not often enough for you to build your vocabulary on this. So,
but I mean, the point is, I guess that it just shows how much effort you still have to put in, right?
Yes, definitely.
So you can get really good at the simple stuff that you keep doing all the time, but if you don't keep giving yourself new things and new problems to solve, new things to learn, you're going to stagnate, and you're going to sort of get good at the very things you're good at already, or stay good at them, right? And it's kind of like that perpetual comfortable zone.
Yeah, don't
you need
get
to get out
comfortable.
of that. Yeah, and it's difficult. It's kind of like what we're talking about with not lying and telling the truth. It's this constant search for the edge of where comfortable is and to keep pushing outwards into the uncomfortable.
Yeah, true.
Mm,
Yeah, so what's the plan for 2019?
Well, I think I've said it. Just keep growing Aussie English. Obviously, my biggest goal is just to get financially secure, right? So we increase the amount that we're making through the website and through the products online to the point where bills are paid for and I can put excess money that we're making back into Aussie English and keep improving things.
Yeah.
But yeah, it's just you just have to keep going. The hardest thing about it is that there's no sort of set path. I'm always telling you this and friends and family this, unlike having a job where you go to work and your boss tells you what to do.
Yeah.
One, I have to rely on myself for motivation and determination and discipline, but two, there's no real just do this and you'll succeed.
Yeah.
You know, there's no, or you don't wake up in the morning and hear your orders and you'll make $1,000 that week or whatever.
There's no recipe.
Yeah, so that's been the biggest thing I think with Aussie English, and probably the reason that I was drawn to it and that I like it so much, this online business stuff, because there are no rules. I'm very creative. I'm kind of also sort of lazy with my time. I don't really like sticking to people's, you need to work from 9 to 5. I'm much more like, I'll do a little bit now, go for a run, or go for a walk, or not go for a run. Go take some photos of some birds, come back, do a little bit more. Oh, it's 1 a.m. Okay, might do a bit more, then bed. So that suits me a lot more, but it is a bit more, I guess, isolating. A little bit. You don't really have a whole bunch of people that you can kind of whinge to about your boss and, you know.
Well, yeah. I think the hardest part of your job, from my perspective, is the creativity thing. I'm much more the kind of person who likes working from 9 to 5 and having a boss and be like, I'm done, I'm going home.
I'm out.
Don't have to think about it.
Yeah.
But obviously it would kill you because you're so active and you're so creative.
I guess it would depend on the work, but yeah.
Yeah, but I think, it's growing. It's getting there, so.
Yeah. But I think to finish up, big thank you to all you guys and, you know, for supporting the podcast for, I don't know what it's been now, 3 years. I think I started in 2015, so 3 years going on 4 years. So, you know, without you guys, it's nothing. I wouldn't be here. I wouldn't be having a baby. I wouldn't have met Kel.
True.
I wouldn't be living here. I'd probably be in Iceland, living in an igloo by myself. But I think too, guys, let me know what you think with regards to the podcast. What do you like and what don't you like? So if you see this, if you're listening to this episode rather, send me an email, okay? The Aussie English Podcast @gmail.com. You'll probably get an email when this episode comes out, and we'll try and do it soon so that it can come out around New Year's Eve.
Yeah.
But when you listen to this, take a moment to think about Aussie English, what you enjoy, and maybe give me some feedback, because I'm always open to hearing from you guys about what I can do to improve. And I need to constantly remind myself to ask you guys that, to sort of keep my finger on the pulse and know what you want and where to move Aussie English, you know, which way to face it. So send me an email if you have time, even if it's just to say thanks, or maybe, you know, say go away. Yeah, that's it. But thanks, Kel, for joining me today.
Oh, good.
It's been a pleasure. I'm looking forward to 2019.
Yeah, me too.
Awesome.
Let's do it.
Let's do it. Happy New Year, guys.
Bye.
See ya.